Good day, everyone. My name is Aisha Mukhtar Amani from the Faculty of Bioresources and Food Industry. I'm here to present a paper titled Gender and Equality in Inland Fisheries Communities of Thomas Dam, Lambata, Nigeria. These are the content of my presentation. Global women constitute an estimated 47% of the fisheries workforce. This is in both harvest and post-harvest. But unfortunately, women are only limitedly engaged in management and decision making. This is according to FAO in 2013 and others. In Africa, more than one-fourth of the people working in the fisheries and aquaculture sector are women, with bean processors at 69.2% and fishers only 6.7%. This is according to the Giraffe and Garibaldi in 2014. According to Adamu and Madeli in 1994 and others, globally, discourse on inequalities between males and females has attracted concerns over a considerable period of time. The issue of gender inequality has of recent come to the fore in the struggle for women's empowerment and emancipation in Nigeria. The fisheries sector is often considered a male domain because of the high levels of investment and the adoption of new technology associated with its development, and this has been a major contributory factor to inequalities. This is according to Eritringi and Jirandu in 2011. According to Murray and Kisan in 1998, Lopez Rodriguez in 2017, research and development programs generally regard fishers as men and remain oblivious to women's direct participation in the fishing industry and their contribution to the industry. Moreover, customary beliefs, norms, and laws and/or unfavorable regulatory structures of the state reduce women's access to fisheries resources, assets, and decision making. This, according to Williams in 2008, Olettinge et al. In 2010. Women faces various forms of gender inequalities in areas such as access, rights to land, ponds, and other fishery assets, education and training, access to independent credit and bargaining power in the trade associations and the workplace. This is according to Ismail et al. In 2011 and others. Various guidelines were recommended to address gender inequalities in the fisheries sector, such as FAO 2017, UN 2015, USA 2012, CFS, and Ecosystem and Approach in Fisheries Management, EAFM. EAFM is simply the ecosystem approach applied to fisheries management. It has three pillars, which are the good governance, ecological well-being, and human well-being, all for the betterment of the future generation. Women's role in official fisheries statistics are often overlooked. This lack of information reflects the depth of attention to the issue of women in fisheries and aquaculture. This is according to Williams in 2008 and others. The pressing issues have been divided according to the three pillars of EAFM, which are the good governance, human well-being, and ecological well-being. On good governance, women faces exclusion from policy and decision making. On human well-being, they are faced with food insecurity, which includes macro and micronutrient deficiencies, especially in women of reproductive age. They are faced with lack of access to resources, such as land, loan, etc. And ecological well-being, they are faced with climate change. This climate change causes low catch, and this low catch happens as a result of rise or lowering in temperature. And then they are faced with flood and drought. They are also faced with migration. These are the research questions. What is the impact of gender inequality to good governance in fisheries management? What is the impact of gender inequality to human well-being in fisheries management? What is the impact of gender inequality to ecological well-being in fisheries management? The objectives of this research are to determine the impact of gender inequality to good governance in fisheries management, to determine the impact of gender inequality to human well-being in fisheries management, to determine the impact of gender inequality to ecological well-being in fisheries management. This is the literature review. Fish production is customary considered as masculine venture. Women's role in fish-related activities is though considered as only supporting the men. This is according to Cliff et al. In 2011. The roles of women in fisheries sector is repeatedly being ignored. This is according to Ibrahim et al. In 2011, Paris and Chi in 2005. No recognition of women's contribution in the production process enhanced by uneven allocation of resources. Therefore, lack of access and control over productive process is one of the major factors limiting women in participation in economic activities. This is according to Mali 2004, Achira 2003, and others. Women are faced with barriers in accessing financial services. This is according to Dugalba in 1995. This is a qualitative research. Qualitative data was collected, data was analyzed, and then results and findings were shown. So this is the study area. Thomas Dam Dambata is located in Dambarke village of Dambata local government area of Kano State, Nigeria. A purposive sampling method was employed to choose the participants for this study. Focus group discussion and the semi-structured interview were the research instruments, and the focus group discussions were divided according to the 3 pillars of EAFM. On ecological well-being, questions were asked on ecological issues, how they affect both genders, and then roles of each gender in management, and then the impact these ecological issues has on each gender. On good governance, questions were asked on decision making regarding sales of properties, household, fishery activities, and starting of a new business. Questions were asked on conflict resolution, if they have any, and then whether there is equality or inequality in resolving these conflicts. On human well-being, questions were asked on the sources of income of both men and women, the role they play. Then on financial questions are also asked on financial services as to who have the access to these financial services. And then on economic decision making, questions were asked as to who take this decision. Is it the men or the women? The qualitative data was analyzed using Atlas TI. This is the conceptual framework. Results and findings. The study was carried out with mainly fishers, traders, and processors living and all working in the fishing communities of Thomas Dam Dambata. Women and men were purposely selected based on their involvement in the fishery sector, e.g. as fishers, fish processors, or traders. The focus group discussion involved 120 participants from Wailare, 40 from Dambarke, and 40 from Satame fishing communities in Thomas Dam Dambata. When questions were asked in access and control of fishing resources, most of the answers were that the fishing equipment are owned and controlled by men. And on ecological changes, when questions were asked, it shows that most of the answers were that both genders are being affected on ecological changes. But on management and decision making, most of the answers showed that the decisions are mostly made by men, with only very few cases considering the women. And then when questions were asked in the roles of women in the fishery sector, most of the answers showed that women do not go to the river to fish. They only support the men, maybe by making the fishing gears and then sometimes processing the fish. And then when questions were still asked on roles of women in the fishery sector, most of the answers showed that the women are only helping the men in the sector. In conclusion, all the study areas, women's participation to fishery sector is similar and characterized by domestic responsibilities. In all the fishing communities, women are poorly represented and seldom included in decision-making process with regards to fisheries and resource management in particular. The study proves that women in the inland fishery sector of Thomas Dam lack access to physical capital resources, to decision-making, a leadership position, to training and formal education. These are the references. Thank you very much.